Hi everyone, and welcome to our info session. My name is Carly, and I'm from Loyalist's Marketing, Communications, and Recruitment team. Today I have with me Laura Russell, Coordinator Financial Assistance at Loyalist College. Thank you so much for being here today with us, Laura. Let's start about talking a little bit about what brought you to Loyalist and your role here.
I've been in the OSAP financial aid office now since 1990. Seems like a long time, but really it's gone by in a flash.
Well, we're lucky to have someone with so much experience, talking to us today about financial assistance at Loyalist. So could you tell us a little bit about, what financial assistance at Loyalist College means?
Well, our office covers a wide range of assistance. The number one is OSAP. We process all the OSAP applications for Loyalist College, as well as for the satellite campuses. We do those as well. So we have about 3,000 students on OSAP. We also have, we look after the tuition fee set-aside fund, it's called. And with that fund, we give out financial need bursaries. We give out student access guarantees. We have something called institutional bursaries for people that are just doing maybe a part-time course and need just money for the courses. That's what, we also have a financial need bursary, it's called, which is part of this tuition fee set-aside money that we give out every semester. There are some of those that students apply for with the other awards and bursaries that Loyalist College puts out. And we also have a quick cash fund that we have for emergencies for students, and that money comes from the foundation at Loyalist College as well as from the student government. They give us a bit of money. We have about $6,500 for the year, which doesn't sound like very much, but it's money that we'll just give out for emergencies, such as someone has to get home right away, something's happened with their family, they have to get a bus ticket home, they don't have any money. It's usually $100 or less that we give out to those students. So they don't have to pay it back, but if they do, it's great, then we can pay it forward to someone else after that.
Right. So I guess you've touched on a few of the different financial aid opportunities and that. So can you talk a little bit about, the way that that's available to students, the way that they access that?
Okay, the usual way and the way I prefer, I like to see students one-on-one. If they're in a financial situation, I like them to come in and talk to us and tell us what's going on, and we can see if we can help them. The other way is there is an application in January and the spring for the financial need bursary, and students can apply for that those 2 semesters. But as I said, I prefer the one-on-one, and our office is open. We have certain office hours that students can walk in. They don't need an appointment. They can ask to see one of us in the financial aid office. And if they're in a financial crisis, we'll talk to them about it and see if we can help them.
I think that's a super important aspect of the Loyalist College experience, is that support. Can you expand a little bit on what kind of experience and information students can expect to receive if they come to your office and they seek help?
Yeah, well, the first thing we usually do is we open up if they're on OSAP, and they don't have to be on OSAP to come to our office, but if they have an OSAP application, the first thing we'll look at is if their application is correct. Some students fill it in wrong, they don't realize it, and sometimes we can fix things that they haven't realized they've done wrong and get them some more money through OSAP. That's usually the first thing we try to do for them. If that's not possible, then we'll talk about why they need their money, why they need some money. I'm not judgmental. I want a student to tell me the truth, like if they blew it on something, okay. I'd rather they tell me that than to try to justify something that they can't really justify. And they could expect a little lecture from me saying, you know, you need some budgeting skills, and I'd be glad to help you with that. But usually I'll talk to them, and if the need is genuine, and you know, I say genuine, I'm a kind person. Sometimes it's hard to know for sure if it's genuine, but usually it is if a student has reached out to you in a crisis like that. So I like to help the students. So if at any way possible, we'll give them a bursary. And it can be $500 bursary, it can be $1,000 bursary, depending on what their issue is.
Can you talk a little bit about, what kind of financial aid is available to students? Like how is that determined?
Okay, well, if you're talking OSAP, it's kind of a cut and dried file where you put in your income, you put in, if you're a dependent, then your parents have to fill it in as well. So it's an assessment based on what OSAP feels your need is. And so they'll assess you based on that. So some students don't understand that. They don't get why they only got $5,000 when it's going to cost $15,000 to put in a whole year at Loyalist College. And so then we have to explain that to them. But with OSAP, there are grants and loans, and OSAP determines which ones you're eligible for. But we at Loyalist here in our OSAP office, our financial assistance office, we have, as I said before, the financial need bursary, the institutional bursary. There's a student access guarantee, which isn't really something you can apply for. It's a program that we are told we have to give to students if they have a shortfall in their educational costs. So every December, we give out about 100 of those student access guarantees as mandated by the provincial government. We also have, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at my list. As I said before, that little quick cash, if somebody just needs $50 for something, their OSAP hasn't come in yet, they need gas for their car to get back and forth to school, then we'll give them some quick cash like that to help them just until their OSAP comes in.
Right, and I think that's a really important thing for people to know, is that there is some flexibility there. What would you want future students to know about financial assistance at Loyalist College?
I would like future students to know that they should always, if they have a question, if they're not sure about anything regarding OSAP or their financial situation, they should come in and see us. I always say, don't rely on your friends' information. So often that's wrong. I've had so many students at my desk saying, well, my friend said I couldn't do this. And say, well, you need to come to the people that really know. So I really want them to feel that they can come and talk to us at any time. Okay, that would be the number one thing I would like to say to students. I would also like to say that they should have a plan. They should have know how much school is going to cost. Usually they find out about OSAP in the summer, so they know what OSAP they're getting. And so they should have kind of a plan on what they're going to do for the shortfall of the funds. And that's a big issue with students we have. And it's not just the young students, it's married students, sole support students. Some students just don't think beyond the moment kind of thing. So I would like to see students have a plan and just sort through, do the math, calculate what you're going to need, calculate what you're getting from OSAP, and then let's figure out how you're going to manage the rest.
I think a plan is really important also, so thank you for adding that in. And do you have any stories or anecdotes that you could share with us about the ways that financial assistance can make a difference in student life? Why is your work so important to student experience?
I had one student I just recall this from the other day before we had to go home to work from home. I had a student, a young lad, who didn't know how he was going to pay for his gen ed. He needed a gen ed course now to graduate, and he just was beside himself at how he was going to be able to afford that. So he came into my office and sat at my desk, and he explained that. And I said, well, how be if I give you a bursary for that, to pay for that? Well, he just about was in tears. He was so grateful. And then he called me the mother hen of Loyalist College. And I thought, well, I guess I'll take that as a compliment, because it means you're caring and you're concerned about people. So I had a little chuckle over that after he left, that he called me the mother hen of Loyalist College.
And I do think absolutely that being called the mother hen of Loyalist College is a compliment, definitely. Well, thank you, Laura, for taking the time out of your day to chat with us and tell us all about financial assistance at Loyalist College. We really appreciate it. And there was some great information there. So thank you so much.
Thank you.